Hello there, World of Tankers. I'm Blitz, and in today's video, we're going to be talking about, at least in my opinion, what the best Tier 9 medium tank in World of Tanks Blitz is, which is the Standard B. Now, there's only two really good factors going for this tank. You have the mobility. This tank is able to reach a top speed of 58 kilometers per hour, and as well, it has one of the best guns in the game. In fact, if this gun was mounted on a Tier 10 vehicle, which it pretty much is on the Progetto 65, I still think that it would be absolutely fine. So what is good about the Standard B's gun? Well, it has an auto-reloading gun. So yeah, it's got very bad DPM at only 2200. Dispersion, aiming time, they're not the best. But you have the ability to get out 1100 damage in a single clip. That is 6 seconds, and you've dealt 1100 damage. Now, when you think about that, let's say you're going up against a T49. Now, you, of course, have Hesh on this tank, because why not? So you have 116 millimeters of high explosive pen. So you can literally load high explosive at that 49, easily penetrate it, and take it out with a single clip. So in 6 seconds, you've cleared the entirety of a Tier 8 light tank, and that's kind of crazy when you do think about it. Now, you can pretty much do that to almost Tier 9 vehicles, like the Leopard. You can literally, or like, let's say this Type 61 here, with my high explosive, I could shoot 4 shells, so it would take me 6 seconds to unload the clip, and then one more shot later, so another 8.6, so in about 15 seconds or so, you can finish off the entirety of a Type 61, a full Tier 9 health tank, and just ruin its day in a matter of seconds. And that's why I love this tank, because it's just so good in every single aspect. So, we're going to see how it does go in today's video. So, of course, it looks like the entirety of the enemy team is all pushing towards the this A. And, well, as you saw there, the T-92 already firing at me. I'm going to try and get out of here. I don't have armor. It's one thing that this tank will never have. It has about 50 millimeters of upper plate armor, and yeah, that's not really going to bounce a lot of shells. In fact, it would probably go one through the tank and come out the other side, because it really just doesn't have any armor whatsoever. So I'm going to be pushing over to the side here, trying to use my excellent gun, and we're going to see if we can get out some damage in a clip. So we got the E50M right to the side, but I want to see if there's anybody else right here before I do pull out fully. So it doesn't look like it, so here we go. We got the E50M. That is one shell into the side of the E50M. There's two, and are we going to be able to get one more out? There you go. So that was it. That was literally half of a Tier 10 medium hit point pool drained in just 6 seconds. That's the entire hit point pool. Like, it's kind of crazy when you think how good the clip is. So again, I'm just going to wait a couple of seconds. We'll get our shells back here. I'm going to wait actually until we get our second shell. Then we can actually get out some damage. So let's see. We got the 4005 over to the side. Let's wait until we get our third shell back. And, well, here we go. We can't, of course, fire the Hesh at him because he does have that spall liner. But, you know what? Still, there you go. Another 1,000 hit points taken off of the 4005. We're at 2,071 damage. Just like that. That's it. That is why I absolutely love the Standard B. It's just got one of the best guns in the game that's just able to rack out the damage. So I'm, of course, going to wait until we get our second shell here. That way we can, well, maybe we can't, but let's try this one more time. There we go. At least we got the second shell in, just getting a little bit more added damage in. And that's what's super nice, is that you have the ability to just leisurely wait for your next shell to come in. You don't have to rush it. You can just wait, be patient. That 4005 still pushing quite aggressive here. There we go. Another nice tap. I was praying that the high explosive would finish him off, but I'm just going to wait here. Be patient. We've got one more shell that we need to put into that 4005, and let's do it. There we go. Another nice tap right into that 4005. This tank also has very, very nice shell velocity. It's got great aiming time. It's not amazing. It's not anything like a Leopard PTA, but it's still got a pretty solid gun, able to hit most of the shells it does fire. So we've got the M48 patent to the side here. We've gotten, 2 shells in our clip. That should be plenty to deal with this patent. So let's see if we can go get him taken out really quick. So there's one shell, and, well, we've got our third shell in, too. I wanted to make sure we got our third shell in. So that's 3,300 damage already picked up. And you can see just by this simple game, it really didn't require that much effort to get out the damage whatsoever. So wait for our second shell to come in here. There we go. I actually didn't need the second shell, but just in case we needed to finish him off. That was 3,679 damage in a pretty simple game. Easily able to help our team out. And, well, of course, we finished top on team with almost 4,000 damage. But that's just what's sorry, my English is dying, it's late at night, but that is what's so good about the tank, is the ability just to get out so much damage in a super quick amount of time, and then back up. That 4005, which is renowned for having the deadliest clip in World of Tanks Blitz, I was easily able to sit there. I've of course got way better camouflage rating, and yeah, that thing's pretty much just a barn, so I'm able to outspot him, shoot him 3 times, then back up, and there's nothing that poor guy can do to me, because of course I think he was reloading his clip or trying to shoot my teammate, so he lost pretty much his entirety hit point pool. I think we actually finished him off from full health, just a tier 10 tank destroyer, and that's why I love the tank. And now that we are in a tier 8 match, this is where the tank goes absolutely berserk. However, I will say, sometimes when I play this tank in a tier 8 match, I get a little bit carried away. They do have a T49 as well. They have a T92E1, the Kampfpanzer, and an ISU 152. All 3 of those tanks super deadly against me because, of course, I have literally 0 armor. The upper plate on this tank, yeah, you really won't bounce anything, and, well, that's a bit of an issue because a 49 will make quick work of my armor, but at the same time, I'll ruin a 49's day in about 6 seconds, so it's sometimes a well worth taking trade, but I want to be very careful here because, of course, I don't know where the enemy team's pushing. Sometimes ISUs like to sit across the map, but, well, I guess we know where the enemy team's pushing. So I'm going to push up to this bush here, be a little bit aggressive, just because I want to know where the enemy team is going to be popping out. So let's see if we can get some spots out. We actually proxy spotted that T-54, which means I'm going to be getting my butt out of there. Of course, I don't want people to know where I'm at. Our team is doing a weird maneuver. I don't know what they're doing, but I wouldn't ever suggest to do this, ever, in a live game here. But it looks like our RU's not really running into anybody. Well, there's the Kampfpanzer. There's a nice shot into the side. He's backing up. We've got the ISU to the side as well. So that's already about 700 damage racked up for our tank there. We've got the T-54. I'm not sure if the 54 is going to be pushing on me, but if it does, I'm not too worried because that's a tank that I want to be worried about right there. We got the T-92, but this T-54, that's a Hess shell right in the side of his tank, and that's 368 damage, and that was a low roll too. Like, you can easily get out 400 average damage with the Hess on this tank, so it's just crazy how good everything going for this vehicle is. So of course I want to be careful of that T-92E1. That's my biggest threat right now. But since we do have a full clip out here, I'm easily going to try and just pull out on this T-54. There's one shot in, and let's see if we can get any more shells out on the T-54 here. Actually, I would much rather get this T-92E1 just because it is a T-92E1. So that was just 800 damage there in literally 2 shots. And again, I'm just going to easily, one at a time, reload the shells in this tank, and that's what's so good about it. Like this T-92, yeah, I might get hit here, and of course I want to go after the 92 over the rest of the enemy team because, well, it is a T-92E1. So let's just back up here. Actually, I am getting hurt quite bad. But let's just try and hold this T-54 off here. He probably thinks we have a shell, which we don't, which, of course, is a downside for him because he's letting me reload my clip here, letting me get my DPM out. So I'm just going to wait, of course, for my shells to come back into the tank. I think we have 10 degrees of gun depression over the front. So there we go. We got our T-54E1, and nice tap right into the top of the T-54 there. And we still have another shell left. So we have the T-92E1 who just fired. So let's see if we can get a nice little snippet into him. Yes, it wasn't a penetration, but you know what? I'll still take any damage I can get. Never going to complain on any damage. So let's not play with that Kampfpanzer yet. I'm going to wait, of course, for my shells to reload here. Once I do have 3 shells in a clip, that's when this tank becomes extremely deadly. So the T-92, thank you for clearing him IS-5 because, of course, we really needed him cleared. And now that the Kampfpanzer did shoot his shell, well, this is where, well, sadly we didn't penetrate the first shot in, but we got the second shell, and as well we should get the third shot in. There we go, nice shot. Now, we probably are going to die here. I have a bad feeling about this, and yeah, this Kampfpanzer most likely is going to be finishing us off, but I am doing the Circle of Death, and I'm doing it to the best of my abilities just to see if we can win, and there you go. This tank, as I said, has that excellent mobility going for it. Great power-to-weight ratio. So that was 2 great games to show the Standard B in all of its glory. 4,200 damage there. I played the tank with a little bit of ingenuity. And how much did we take off of the enemy T-92? 1,300. Like, you can see, it just gets out the damage so easily. Sadly, I did hit my hand there. But 4 shells, 1,300 damage. And it's just so fun to use this tank because not only is it a new type of playstyle, a lot of people aren't really familiar with the auto-reloading aspect. It's kind of fun to just play this tank because there's nothing else like it in the game. You only have the Progetto, you know, not the FE, I don't remember what what that tank's called. Let me check really quick. It's that weird, funky, the M4FL10, that's it. So there's only a couple tanks. There's just a handful of vehicles that have this auto-reloading mechanism. I absolutely love it, and I would suggest that you guys definitely check out the Progetto line. The Progetto 65 is one of the least played medium tanks in Blitz, and I absolutely love it. I'm surprised that a lot of people don't go for the line still. The P44 Pantera has amazing standard penetration, and as well, it's got a great clip going for it. Same for the Standard B and the Progetto 65. I love all the tanks are their own types of little, unique little twerks and stuff like that. But I hope you guys all enjoyed this video. If you did, please make sure to slap that subscribe button down below. But other than that, I'll see you in the next one.